It's Beachside with Kay. It's Friday, y'all. And guess what? It was raining all earlier today. I mean, pouring down raining. But shout out to the Lord. He wants to be good. He wants to allow me to come out here to see y'all today. So that is exactly what I am doing. We are headed to the beach, as you see. And yes, I have to give y'all some updates on my week. Y'all hear all these birds? Remember we heard these birds last week? And they be over here by this tree. Let me make sure. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what what the name of the birds are, because they are like so. Maybe is this one of them? These might be one of them, but they're like super loud and obnoxious, to say the least. I'm just always scared walking over here over by the trees because I don't want them to like poop on me or nothing. Yeah, we definitely don't have time for that. Y'all hear them? No, can y'all hear them? Y'all probably can't see them because they kind of blend in. But they definitely loud. I wonder what they talking about. What y'all think they be talking about? They probably like, get out my way, I'm trying to get some food. I'm hungry. When we leaving, I'm ready to go. Because they flock together, okay? So I just be wondering what they doing. Whew. Okay. Now let's see. So this is, y'all know the neighborhood I usually go through to get to the beach. But they've been having like new security that has been like working. So they don't really know me. And technically, like, you're not supposed to be going through the neighborhood because there's like a beach entrance a little bit further down. But I always come this way, so I just do what I always have done. So let's see. Buenas. Okay, that's somebody I know I get to see. All right, we are almost at the beach. And it's really humid though today. Like it feels really, my skin is like real sticky. Y'all know I didn't play with my sunscreen or my bug spray, I should say. Because I do not have time to be getting bit up today. Oh, y'all, I'm tripping today. I do not have on socks. Hi. Yeah, y'all know I'm tripping. Call me crazy, but I always wear socks when I come to the beach with my sandals because I don't like all the sand in my toes and stuff. I like a separation. But I forgot, trying to hurry up and rush and get out the house. I ain't even prepared. So I'm gonna have to let y'all know how this go. And I feel like you be slipping and stuff more when you ain't got on socks. But when, I have my socks on, I'm not slipping like that. Ooh, and I'm sorry, let me fix myself. My apologies. So yes, ooh, somebody cooking out. It smells good. Somebody got some food on the grill. Mr. Misfit said no socks. Somebody getting lit today. I'm telling you, please pray for me because I'm nervous. I always have on socks coming out here, so I'm nervous because I don't know what's in that sand either. Y'all know what the beach be looking like coming out here. It be looking crazy. So I guess we're gonna see what it looks like today. We got some comparisons in this last month because y'all know this beach been looking super crazy. But I think it's a lot of people on the beach like this weekend, like a lot of more visitors, because y'all know it hasn't been like a lot of people as of recently, but y'all see there's like people like at the pool and stuff today. There's like people playing, what is that? Beach ball. Yeah, people kicking it today. Because the last couple of weekends, it hasn't been like super busy. So people are kicking it today. Where I stay at though, I know I mentioned that, oh my gosh, I'm so, y'all, I am so nervous. I do not want to go in this stand without no shoes on. But no, whoever was renting out one of the villas near me, they like was having them a good old karaoke time. Okay, let's see what we looking like this week. Oh my gosh, y'all, I got my feet. It's all sandy. Ew. Okay, so all right, let's see. Y'all see it today. So y'all know the beach then definitely changed. At least like you can barely see the sand now. Even less than the last couple weeks. This is crazy. And then I don't know where this little bark of wood done came from. There's some more wood over here. Looked like a part of the coconut tree done fell off. Oh yeah, this is a no for me. Not having socks on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is not it. Yeah, not it at all. But yeah, we made it to the beach. Like I said, look at the comparison from last week to this week, how much has changed. And then you don't see, remember the last couple of weeks we've seen like a lot of like the lighter colored seaweed. You don't really see that now. Like it's all of this seaweed is dark. I see like a few pieces of lighter seaweed, but for the most part it is pretty dark. Mr. Misfit, how is your week going? Checking in, how is your week going? But yeah, the water just keep pushing everything back further and further. Before I know it, we probably gonna be right up here, having to stand up here to do the beachside. Like I said, we just at the beginning of hurricane season, so I'm very interested to see how it's gonna be looking in the next couple months. And also, I'm thinking about going home like the end of July. And if I go home, I'm gonna go and leave and go to Ghana from home. So I'll be away from the island for like over a month. So a lot can happen in that time for sure. Mr. Misfit said it's going good. I'm getting my podcast going again. I took a small break. Okay, that's what's up. Breaks are necessary. They are definitely necessary. That is awesome. How far in advance do you usually plan out your podcast? So I've been working on some content ideas for my business. I've been telling you guys about. I'm like, ooh, some of this is like podcast worthy. Me and my cousins, we always say we're going to start a podcast because we be having some really good, deep conversations about just the most randomest stuff. And a lot of times we share unpopular opinions. So we were like, this will be definitely interesting if we was to make our conversations just podcast ready. But we are not there. I will say that. We are not there yet. And Mr. Misfit, if you need like any recommendations either for like other people to host, let me know. Like some other guests that you would need or want to talk to, let me know. Because I got some folks with some very, very inspiring stories for sure. Mr. Misfit said a week in advance. I got someone to design me an original logo, so I'm excited to come back with a new logo. Oh, nice. That is super dope. Is it somebody like you met, or did you go on like a third-party website? Like a Fiverr or something, or Upwork? And it's so funny you said something about a logo. Literally, I was supposed to be working on this last little part of my business. I'm supposed to be finishing up my business hook and my business pitch today for my project portion that I've been working on with my productivity coach. And I got distracted today, I'm not gonna lie. I have a logo for my business, but I got it last year, and that was before I did all the like behind the scenes like work for like my brand strategy. And now like I feel like my current logo really doesn't resonate with me, and it really is not like my personality, you know. It's a little bit more stuffy. So I'm in the process of redesigning my logo. So literally like these last couple hours I have been at home sketching out new logo ideas. Now I'm not the best drawer, but I can definitely get a concept together and then it can get designed. Mr. Misfit said you should most definitely start a podcast, and new guests I'm always looking for, send them my way. My tattoo artist is designing the logo. Oh, that's dope. So it's gonna be really original then. That is really, really nice. I can't wait to see it. When did he say it will be done? Yeah, when did he say it will be done? And of course, if I had a podcast, you know, it wouldn't be as random as my lives are. You know, lives, I just kind of go with the flow. But if I had a podcast, definitely would have some topics to explore, and probably dealing it with like some pop culture stuff as well, references as well. Because there'd be a lot going on in the world, I'll tell you that. Oh, I am excited to announce though that last week I did go and pick up my Apple Watch. So I'm happy I do have my Apple Watch back. However, I was too lazy to put it back together this week. And it wasn't even that I was too lazy. It was just not my top priority because my week was like super hectic, crazy. Y'all know I've been working with my productivity coach, and my project that I started, it has to be finished by next week. So like I'm in like full throttle mode this week, because last week I had got behind at the end of the week with my project plan. So I was a little bummed out about it last week, but I got back on track on Monday. And so now I'm essentially finished. I just have to do a few edits, and I need to get my brand roadmap book that I created. I need to get that done. But yeah, this week it was a really good creative week for me, so really excited about that. Mr. Misfit said she said it would be done soon. The price is pretty scary, but she said I'm purchasing rights to the logo. Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll just tell you this. My first logo I got, I probably spent about $50 for, right? Like I had the idea in my mind. I went to like a little third-party site, but when I tell you, like, it is worth investing more. So like this time when I get my logo, if I don't, because I'm thinking about just doing it myself on Illustrator, but I'm just like, do I want to spend the time doing it? So it's just one of those things that is just like, it's where will my time better be spent? Same with my website as well. Like I'm in the process of deciding if I'm going to develop my own website or if I'm going to have someone else do it. I talked to my cousin. My cousin was like, I just think you need to do it yourself because I feel like you know exactly what you want. and you can just design it yourself. So I'm thinking about actually designing my own website, but having someone else develop it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about for my logo. For the most part, like I said, I feel pretty good about like my design direction. I just don't know if I want to spend the time actually designing it, if that makes sense. So I haven't gotten that far, but I did re-download my Adobe Illustrator today. So I was tinkering around with it a little bit. And then I'll be making up my mind soon. But yeah, so this logo, I'm looking to spend anywhere between like $450 and like $650 for my logo. And to be honest, like I wouldn't even mind investing more. Like I wouldn't mind even investing like over like $1,000 for it. But that's like literally if I didn't have to do like any work. If they just like would come up with the concepts for me. But like the logo designers that I've been looking at, like I pretty much have to come to them with like the direction. And they're like, oh, well, send me some ideas of stuff that you like. And I'm like, I really don't like anybody else's stuff. Like I want my own. I just want it to be mine. I do have a question though. Does your tattoo artist, does she actually like have like a website? Does she do logos like on the side? Or is she just doing one for you? Mr. Misfit said she said it would be done soon. The prices, oh yeah, pretty scary, but she said I'm purchasing the rights. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you're purchasing your rights. Mr. Misfit said, have you checked out Peaky Blinders? The name sounds familiar. It sounds like somebody who has been on The Future. Do you watch The Future on YouTube? I love The Future. I want to say yes. Is it like females? Are they located in California? If it's Peaky Blinders. Yeah, let me know. Where are they located in Cali? The name sounds familiar, but I don't know if we're talking about the same thing or people or yeah. But yeah, like great logo artists, like the top logo artists, like their designs are starting at like $6,500 off rip. Like established, logo designers, they're definitely starting off at about $6,500. But I've even seen logo artists start at $20K. So yeah, it can get really steep. Just depends on kind of what you want, what direction you're going in, if they're doing like strategy, because that's where you pay a lot. Like if someone's going to be doing strategy for your brand, like that is where the bulk of your money is going to go, as far as like discovery and like the research that they have to do. Have you checked out Peaky Blinder? Oh, you said I have not seen The Future. Oh no, The Future's a YouTube channel. I thought I'm laughing. So Peaky Blinders is a show. I thought Peaky Blinders was like a graphic designer or something. Because I'm like, is that the graphic designer? There's a name similar to that. These two female graphic designers in Cali. So, okay, I'm glad I'm caught up today. So you said it's a Peaky Blinders. It's a show about an English crime family rising in power in England in 1919. Is it on Netflix? And how many seasons? How many seasons, and is it on Netflix? Because that sounds like that's up my alley. I just finished watching Mindhunters this week. And I heard they're not going to be doing a season 3 of Mindhunters, so that's a little disappointing. Because it was really good. And the way it ended, I'm just like, I have questions. I want to know more. But from what I'm hearing, it's just a very high cost for production. So I think that's why they're just thinking about going ahead and getting rid of the show. But it was pretty good. And I can definitely see where the production costs come in at, though. because it's a pretty elaborate show. Yeah, it's on Netflix and it's 5 seasons with like 6 episodes each season. Oh, but they some long episodes though. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. Mr. Misfit, did you watch part 2 of Lupin? Okay, I'm gonna watch it out. I'm gonna watch it. I know I just told I told one of my grandmas, I'm like, Granny, you need to watch Lupin. Because I finished Lupin last weekend. And Lupin was real good. Like, the part 2 was really good. I'm so excited they're doing another part of Lupin as well. Part 3. I'm just wondering how the plot is just going to continue to thicken. Oh my goodness, you have to watch Lupin. Like, do you know who like Lupin is? Have you read any of like Lupin's books? I know he's like, I think there's like really a Lupin and like Lupin versus like Sherlock Holmes. But he basically is supposed to be like the gentleman thief. But oh my gosh, it's Lupin. Literally, I was talking to my cousin last week. My cousin was like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I think I like Lupin more than Queen of the South. And I was like, blasphemy. But I kind of understand what you're saying. They're not the same show, obviously. Like, one is like, you know, a drug lord. One is like a thief. But like, the show is definitely really good when it comes to like keeping you on your toes and just wondering what is next. It's pretty unpredictable, so I really, really like it. Like, it's really, really good. And it's only 2 parts. And I forgot how many episodes are for each part. Maybe like 5 or 6. But Lupin has to be next. And it's on Netflix. It has to be next on your list. Like, especially because I see, like, we do like some of the same type of shows for sure. So, definitely Mine Hunters, if you haven't seen Mine Hunters. And the Mine Hunter show is about basically how they started the, like, criminal profiling as far as, like, serial killers go. So if you think of like Criminal Minds, like their department, like this special department that they have, this goes back to like, I think like the 70s, 80s when they were starting to build that department with the FBI. So it's pretty cool to see. And a lot of it is like accurate accounts of like what really happened. So it's a pretty dope show. Like when it comes to like psychology, I have a great appreciation for it. But yeah, they just really get into the mind of like serial killers and try to figure out like what their motives were so that they could start building profiles for the future. And then now to know that there's so many TV shows that literally are based off of this unit that was created from the Mindhunter show is pretty amazing. And I think the Mindhunter is also, so it's technically fiction because of course some of it is like dramatic effect, but it's a lot of nonfiction, like real parts to it. So it's really good, but it's supposedly based off of a book, The Mindhunter. So I kind of want to read the book because I'm interested. I feel like books are always better than like movies and shows. So I'm definitely interested to see that for sure. But yeah, so definitely, you know, I'm always down for a new show. Definitely drop some shows. If you're watching this after the live, drop some good Netflix shows in the comment section, because I'm always looking for something. And it's funny, you got all the stuff on Netflix, and then sometimes I just feel like, oh, it's nothing to watch on here. But that is not usually the truth. It's just I don't know what to watch. But I'm trying to think. I haven't. Oh, I did finish the Ragnarok show. I think I finished that like a week and a half ago. And now I'm watching on Disney the Loki show. But the Loki, an episode comes out like, I want to say like once a week. So, currently watching Loki when it comes out, when the episodes come out. And then I'm thinking about taking like a few days of a break after next week, because next week I'll be done with my project. So I'm probably going to take like one day off where I'm just going to sit and just binge watch some TV. Because right now I really only watch TV like on the weekends. During the weekday, like I never turn on the TV like during my work day, which my day usually starts 6 or 7, just depending on what day. 6, 7, or 8, like between 6 and 8, I'll say that, because I have my Spanish tutor 7 a.m. on the weekdays, so I try to stay consistent with that schedule. I'm so happy it's a little breeze that I can feel right now, because I'm out here burning up. Not because it's like hot, just because of how humid it is. I'm like over here sweating. So I'm very grateful for the ocean breeze right about now. Oh, and then what else? Just today, I got to catch up with one of my good friends, Morgan. That's the one who I interviewed about getting into med school during the pandemic. So she just finished up her first year of med school. So we got to catch up today, and I'm just so excited for her. She's just doing a little bit of travels right now. And then she'll be starting her second year, I want to say in like another month or so. Sometime in maybe the end of July, she'll be starting. And for her med school, she goes to Meharry Medical. Their second year ends in March. So I think they go from July to March. And I found out today with their new curriculum at her school, she said they actually take step 1 after their third year, which I thought was very interesting. And she was kind of telling me the logic behind why they have switched to it, but she said the current third years, they're basically the guinea pigs. So I'm just praying that they do well, because she said shortly after taking step 1, they have to prepare to take their step 2 exam. So I could not imagine at all. So I'm just like, whew. And I'm thinking about all the money they have to spend on UWorld, which is like one of the more popular word banks, question banks. I'm like, ooh, y'all got to get extended versions of those. But yeah, she is doing really, really good. Got to talk to her for about an hour today. And I was just asking her, like, how was it doing med school, like, virtually? Like, especially, she was like, she's so nervous about, like, the physical examinations, because she hasn't got to actually, like, practice. on people so much. But she was saying like they had to like basically like verbalize what they would do. I'm like, that's definitely interesting. But yes, as you guys know, today is Friday, so it's no longer Pizza Fridays my way. It is Taco Fridays. So I will be going to my favorite food truck when I get off of here. And I will be getting my tacos. And last week the tacos was so good. I think I got tacos last Friday and last Saturday. And then I got, I like they're called molitas. Those are really good too. And I'm happy because since I've been doing my Spanish, like I feel like I'm able to pick up more Spanish, like as far as hearing it. I'm not saying, I'm speaking it a little bit better. But as far as hearing it and picking up words, I'm doing a little bit better, like processing the words as I'm hearing them. Because that's the biggest thing, is like it takes me so long. Like I'm still at the front of your sentence and you on a whole nother paragraph. So I'm like, hold on, can you go back? Then y'all know I had to watch Curious George this week. And the Yellow Man. So I've decided, I think I know why Curious George is so disturbing to me. First of all, can we just talk about the neglects from the man with the yellow hat? Can we just talk about it for a moment? Because first of all, why he always got somewhere to be? That's why Curious George is always getting into some trouble. Because the man with the yellow hat always talking about, oh, I'll be back. Don't go nowhere. I got things to do. I got problems to solve. And I'm just like, and then he don't even be leaving him with like real babysitters. Like he leaving with his friend Steve. And you think him and Steve ain't gonna be getting into no trouble. I'm just like, I can't, like, I cannot. And then I was actually looking up like some of the history of Curious George. And from the little bit of research I did, I found that Curious George was actually supposed to be like a monkey over in Africa. And the man with the yellow hat actually took him and held him captive. I was like, you know what? I knew it was something about that man with the yellow hat. I knew my intuition was not steering me wrong about how I feel about him. So yes, he stole George. George did not belong to him or want to go with him willingly. I need to call the animal protection to come save George. But yeah, so the episode that I had to watch in Spanish this week, basically, y'all know the man with the yellow hat, he always got somewhere to be. So he left George with his friend, Steve. And Steve want to be playing a video game, not paying no attention, playing a video game. And it was a super sunny day. And he could not see his game properly on the screen. So there was a delivery driver dropping off something at the hotel that they was standing outside of. Like, come on, like, why is Curious George outside of a hotel? Like, y'all gotta make it make sense for me. Like, y'all really gotta help me understand these 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 plots, because I don't be getting it. So anyways, let me finish telling y'all about Curious George. So Curious George, basically his friend Steve was like, yo, I can't see, I need some shade. So he was like, let me, you know, sit on the back of this truck and see if I can, you know, block the sun some. Well, he still couldn't see, so he actually went inside of the truck. So it was a little El Gato, which is a little cat. So the cat was like, oh no, what y'all doing? I want to go in there. So George done went to go follow Steve. And that's one thing I realized about, like, Curious George. He low-key a follower, like, and I don't like that. So anyways, let me finish telling y'all. So the delivery truck driver, he comes out and he's looking, he's like, where did they go? Oh, he's like, oh good, they must have finally decided to get off the game and go to the park, El Parque. No, they was in the back of that truck, but he didn't see them, so he closed the back of the truck. And then Jorge, he's trying to hit the door like, help, like, let us get out, but the delivery man, he didn't hear him. So basically they done went to a whole nother side of town, didn't know where they was at. And the bad thing is Steve was still playing the video game. Steve didn't even realize that the truck had drove away. I said, this is too much for me. He was so into that video game. So then they get to a location and they finally, Jorge, he finally gets out and he lets everybody else out. Oh, and then Conley, that's the dog, Conley was trying to stop them from getting in the truck to begin with, because he like, y'all are really doing too much and this don't seem like it's a good idea. Mind you, he don't talk, but like you could just tell that's what he was trying to tell them, but they didn't want to listen to him. And I think George knew it wasn't a good idea as well, but like I said, George is definitely a follower. So they done got out and they saw this ferry boat on El Rio, and that's the river. So they like, okay, like, I know there was some cars on the ferry, so they was like, I know that has to take you back to La Ciudad, which is basically the city. Hey girl, I'm over here talking about, I'm talking about Curious George and the man with the yellow hat, how I'm just so disturbed by him in the episode that I watched this week. So then, next thing I know, Jorge like, hey, y'all, let's get back. Let's, you know, let's catch a ride on this ferry. So the ferry's about to pull off. So Steve, him and Conley, the dog, they done ran and jumped on top of the ferry. And then El Gato, the little cat, he's up there trying to play with like some trash from the street or something. So Jorge, he had to grab him up. Then he had to go swing up on it, you know, because, you know, the monkeys can swing. So he done went and grabbed this, you know, little hanger thing, and he done swung and got them on the ferry. So then finally they made it back to the city. And all I know is they made it back to the hotel. So they're in the hotel, outside the hotel, or hotel in Spanish. And then the man with the yellow hat, he comes talking about, oh, how was your day? And I'm looking like, hey, wouldn't you like to know? And again, why are y'all at a hotel anyways? I'm just confused. Make it make sense. And then the dog's owner came out, and the dog, he was so happy. He's like, I don't know why I was trying to get these fools not to go, and they still wanted to go anyways. And he went and he hugged his owner, and he was so happy to be back. And then the owner's like, okay, well, what did y'all do today? Where'd y'all go? And then you want to know what Steve had the audacity to say at the end of the episode? And he the whole reason why they got, you know, basically kidnapped without officially knowing. He gonna say, hey, George, you want to come back and play the game with me tomorrow? George was laughing like, no way. He was like, you played me once. You ain't gonna play me again until the next episode, right? But yeah, so Jorge, it's too much for me. He's too much. I'd be so annoyed watching my little episode of him. I think I'm gonna go back to watching Peppa Pig. But she wanted me to, she's been sending me a few episodes of Jorge, so I've been having to watch him a little bit. And this week, what did I learn this week? This week, I was learning like different parts of like neighborhoods and like parks and what to call stuff. So I didn't know. She was telling me like colegio is like, basically that's like your schools. And then she was telling me like escuela, like that's, both of them are schools, but one is like private. Like I thought colegio was like college, you know? But she was like, oh no, that's like your private schools you gotta pay for. And then la escuela, like those are like, or I think it's la escuelas, like those are your schools that are like public. And then like acera is like the sidewalk. Calle is like the street. Yeah, you know, I've been learning a little bit. I've been learning. Semaphoro is like your stoplight. Koi said, how are you? How's your day? I am doing well, friend. Did you look at any flights? I ain't hear back from you last weekend. Did you find any flights? Koi said, yes, for the Spanish lessons. Okay, I'm out here trying to be great. I'm trying. But yes, girl, I am doing good. I'm excited. You know, I've been working with my productivity coach for the last couple months. So I am finally feeling like really confident about like moving forward by myself and not needing like that extra layer of accountability. Because that's something that she really like pressed upon us during this like program of coaching, which we usually have coaching calls like twice a week. And some weeks we had coaching calls like 3 times a week. So it was pretty intense, but like I said, I'm just like annoyed that I didn't, like I've had bits and pieces of these tools, but I've never had like a true system for like time management and for productivity. So when I tell you, like I feel like I can do anything, accomplish anything, like the results that I want, I know I can achieve. Like it's amazing. And like I said, a lot of her stuff is like big on mindset, and it's just crazy how much our mindset, I mean, it literally is it affects every aspect of our life, from our finances to the food we eat to the people we choose to deal with or not deal with. I mean, it's just a lot. Oh, Coy, you up there? Coy, I'm telling you, oh hey, it's too much. He's too much, way too much. But how was your week? What you got going on? Koi said, yes, I may need to try some coaching too. I need a therapist. I need everybody. Girl, yes, especially now you about to have your insurance as well. You need to check in and see what resources that they, you know, provide up front. But definitely, like you definitely, especially you're going to be working in an emergency room. You don't know what you're going to be seeing. You know, we all think that we built like Under Armour, but the truth is that we definitely need some extra support. And I think the biggest thing for you, Koi, especially, is like trying to be proactive for sure. And if you need help finding like a therapist, like I got you. I done found like probably 5 of my friends therapists in Atlanta, because I be on the hunt. I be interviewing them. I be asking questions, trying to make sure they a good fit. But yes, and so you know, I got a productivity coach and I have a life coach. So I be getting like double the business. So it's really good though. Like I said, I think my productivity coach, she deals with more of like the top of the glacier, right? More of those type issues. So like your thoughts, your circumstances, your feelings, your actions, your results. And then my life coach, he deals with more so like the beliefs that even led you to have the thought in the first place. that led you to have that feeling and the action that you made. So I think that they complement each other well. So yeah, it's been good. It stretches me. And like I said, I know that this is what I need in this season of my life for sure, because I am resistant, if that makes sense. So like I meet with my life coach like every other week. So this week I'm like, oh, I like was having excuses in my mind. Like I'm like my head might be hurting when it's time for us to meet today. Like I'm like literally having excuses. Like I might oversleep taking a nap. But then that makes me know like, okay, this is something that I need to be, pushing through. Because, therapy, life coaching, like all of it is work. And don't let nobody tell you different. It definitely can be extremely draining, to say the least. It can be draining. But yeah, whew. But I show up though. Like I show up even when I don't want to. And that's just something that I just want to just have just that grit to just show up. Even if I don't want to. Koi said, I've been lazy, nothing girl, just sleeping like a crazy woman. Also, I've been going through my things, throwing things out, trying to work on letting go of things that serve no purpose. Absolutely. Koi said, yes, push through, boo. Yes, it's work and draining, especially when you have built conscious and unconscious habits for years. Absolutely. But it's so necessary to explore. It's so crazy you mentioned that though, because literally I've had so many conversations about therapy this week, and I know my friends be so like sick of me too. for real, because the people who I've been talking to this week who kind of come to me with like some of the same issues, I literally wrote out thought models for them this week. So I literally wrote out, like, after we talked, I got off the phone, I took my time, I sat down, I text, and I had circumstance, and I wrote down their circumstance. Then I wrote down their thoughts that they shared with me. I wrote down their feeling, even though most of them didn't express their feeling. I clearly was able to read underneath their thoughts to figure out their feeling. Then I wrote down, the fact that they have decisions to make based off of how they feeling. Like, how are you going to deal with this? And I was talking to one of my friends this week, and he was venting to me about some stuff he got going on. And I was telling him, I said, it's really crazy when you think about it, but the way that we think affects how we perceive everything around us. So literally our thoughts create evidence around us to basically prove us right. So like, for instance, like if you in a relationship and you feel like your significant other is out here being sneaky, if that's your thought, you're going to be able to create that evidence. If they don't answer the phone, you're going to be like, whoo, see, they ain't answer the phone because they being sneaky. Like, if they, wait 2 hours to text you back, and they usually text you back in an hour, because you have that thought, like all that evidence, every situation is going to lead to that thought. But if your thought is like, oh no, my thought is like, oh my gosh, my significant other just been super busy lately, then all of the evidence is literally going to lead to that. So if they don't answer the phone, it's like, oh my gosh, like they must have got caught up. Like this ain't got nothing to do with me, Like everything that happens in that is going to be giving yourself evidence for that thought. And that's not to say that like sometimes your thoughts, can serve you and the evidence that is created is like facts, but a lot of times the evidence that our thoughts create are not factual. So that's why we have to like continuously exhibit like what are our thoughts, what are the facts around the circumstances, and how our thought led us to that particular feeling. So I've been writing out thought models literally for people all week on different situations, and for myself as well. Even my brother brother, I had a whole session with my brother and my sister-in-law this week. They probably be so sick of me. My brother was like, you know it's not too late for you to become a therapist, right? I said, leave me alone. I said, I don't got it to do, to be honest. I don't have it to do. But it's funny though, because literally in my business, like mindset is going to be so like heavy when it comes to like me creating like my experiences for my clients. Because it literally, our thoughts literally affect everything. Our feelings, our beliefs, like all of that. Like it makes up who we are. And most of the time who we are is really like a false version of ourselves. I'm just saying. We some frauds out here, that's all. Koi over there laughing. She said thoughts can be a dangerous thing. Absolutely. Koi said, go you, that's so nice of you. Oh, thank you. Girl, tell them that, because I swear they probably so sick of me this week. They sick of me this week. I don't know. It's just something I just been led to do when people just been calling me, because I'm like, clearly you ain't listening. So maybe if I give it to you, you know, some people are like, you know, auditory learners. Some people are visual. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting to multiple senses. So obviously you didn't understand what I just said. So maybe if I write it down and you can see it and read it and, you know, sit with it for a little bit, maybe it can connect with you a little bit better. I'm just saying that's my thoughts about it. So yeah, you just got to be careful of what the things that you tell yourself, you got to be careful about. And then, hey, buenas. Yeah, you got to be careful about the things that you tell yourself without doing fact checks. Because if you really look at it, a lot of times, you know, just depending on what space you're in, a lot of times it ain't, you know, what it really was, what you thought it was going to be. Koi said, uh-oh, you catering to learning styles? Okay, Miss Ma'am. You see it, girl. Oh, my auntie on here. Hey, auntie. She said, niece, I'm late. Oh, auntie, I'm just talking to my friend Koi. I'm talking about just our mindsets and essentially how the things that we think, how we create, how the things that we think, how we're able to create evidence to support it. So usually, like, if your mindset is like, I am a queen, usually you're going to find evidence that supports why you are a queen. If you have the mindset and you like, you know, like, I am less than, you're going to find evidence that's going to support that thought. So again, we just got to be careful with the thoughts that we create. And it's okay. Like, it's not saying that you have to change that thought in that moment. Like, that's definitely a space that I feel like you can get to through therapy. It's like reevaluating your thoughts, like, in the moment and really being able to shift. But, like, at the beginning, like, it's okay. Just sit with it. Like I said, you just got to do your fact checks. Just like feelings, like, I think it's toxic when people are like, oh my gosh, you just got to feel great. Like, oh, you have to have these wonderful feelings all the time. Like, no, you don't. But the way I feel, I try to reserve certain feelings for, you know, certain events. I'm just saying, like, as far as like sadness and anger, like, not saying I don't experience them, you know what I mean, throughout the week. But for the most part, I try to reserve those for things I really need to be mad and sad about. Like, in this crazy world we live in, like, we got enough stuff to really, truly put our energy towards sadness. So there's no reason of wasting those feelings. It's how I feel. If it doesn't need to be. Like, I'm not going to waste my feelings for that. Koi said, hi, auntie. My aunt said, hi. Nikki said, absolutely. And auntie, I was telling Koi how I literally, like, been talking to people this week and they've been venting to me about different problems and stuff like that. and how I've just been sending them different thought models. Like I send them their circumstance. I literally text it out, circumstance. Then I write what it is. Then I write out thought. Then I write out their feeling. Then I write out their action. And it's so funny because when I've been writing out the actions, I've literally been giving them like a list of like positive reactions, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, actions that are in their control. And then I write a list of like, or you could be petty. You could, you know what I mean? You could, you know, sink down to their level. Like I give all the options. And then I'm like, result is going to be based off of your action, period. We just got to take accountability and realize that people are not responsible for our feelings. We are. That's our work. That ain't their work. They can acknowledge them if they choose to, but they don't have to. Just like when people be like, you made me feel this way. No, I didn't. You a lie. I don't have that power. Just like I don't go blaming nobody else for making me feel no type of way. Like, absolutely not. You don't have that control. I'm just saying. Coy, you laugh. Coy, you got me over here cracking up though. Auntie up there talking about issues, tissues. Absolutely. Oh, that sounds like a podcast. Issues, tissues. That is funny. Oh, and I don't know, but do y'all get on the Bible app at all? Because when I tell y'all the Bible app, they have like the story. Like for the verse of the day, they basically have like a little story. Just like on like Instagram and YouTube, how you like can click stories at the top. They have you can open the story for the verse. And so it's usually like some type of reflection. Then the next page is like the verse. Then the next page is like a little small, I call it like a little sermonette. It's usually about 2 minutes long. And then there's a devotional after that. Then there's a prayer. And then I think they show you the scripture one more time. When I tell y'all, like, it don't take that much time out your day. You can literally get through it in like 5 minutes. But I really love the stories. They've done a really good job. I think that's one of the best features they have on the app. I just said it because it just popped up as a notification because I ain't did mine today. So, like I said, it's better than just the surface level, like, okay, I got a quote, you know, a scripture for today. Like, it help you dig a little bit deeper and really just, you know, really apply that word for today. It's really good looking at it like earlier in the day. But yeah, if y'all don't have the Bible app, or if you do have the Bible app and you don't know it's a feature, literally, like on the Bible app, you can just go ahead. If you open up your Bible app today, you'll see it and just click open story. And then you'll get your little reflection for the day. You'll get the scripture. You'll get a little word. You'll get your devotional, and you get you a prayer. And then you can like save them too. So like you can save parts of it. Like if you want to save the prayer, you can save it with your prayers. I think you can save like the devotional part too. And you know you can save like the scripture and go back and look at those. But I think it's really, really good. Oh, Coy, I also got to send you this. I know I said I was going to send you this devotional. I'm going to send it this week. I'm going to order it for you this week. Coy said, I'm going to check into it. Oh, yes, absolutely. It's so good. So good. Coy said yes. But what about the people that want to control the reaction you may have? Girl, that ain't nothing but a spirit of manipulation. And you just call it what it is when you see it. And the crazy thing, because I'm just thinking about one of my friends that got some stuff going on right now. And the person in her life who is creating a lot of this conflict. Like, the individual that's creating the conflict for her, he really, look, I already done put it out there, but he basically really don't have no control in the situation. The only control he really has, which is he really still don't have, is like control over like her feelings, which for her feelings are always going to manifest themselves in her actions. So once he gets a response out of her, like for him, it's like he won. And I keep telling her, like, he does not, you keep giving him that control. He don't have that control over you. But yeah, there's definitely people out there, but that's just a spirit of manipulation, period. And people love, you already know, people love to project the things that they have going on to you. They love it. They love it, love it, love it, love it. But you know what? remember them little remember them little bracelets we used to wear when we was younger, Koi? I'm sure you had one at some point in your life. The what would Jesus do? The WWJD. What would Jesus do? And sometimes we just gotta take a moment to step away. Like, you don't always, like, your reaction don't have to be in that moment. Like, it don't have to be in that moment. Like, sometimes we just gotta, like, if you feel yourself getting to that, and like I said, it ain't like, you can feel the way you feel, but it's about, like, analyzing, okay, like, this is how I feel, but why do I feel this way? Like, why is this bothering me? Like, why am I so bothered right now? Like, I told one of my friends today, I said, it's unfortunate because, we're pretty much taught that your emotions are happy, you're sad, you're angry, you're mad. Like, that's pretty much the scope of it. But, like, can we get to some deeper emotions, though? Because, like, for real, like, some of these emotions, like I told my friend with her situation, I said, baby girl, you're jealous. Ooh, and I'm like, I know that don't feel good to hear that. You know what I mean? Because the way you look at jealousy is like, like, oh, I'm just envious of the next person. And I think that's a hard place for a lot of us to sit in. But, like, I know I've had to check myself in if I'm annoyed in a situation and I feel myself projecting. Most of the time, if I'm projecting some stuff, like, there's something that I see in you that you're doing that I'm, like, low-key jealous about and not able to communicate it in that way. So I'm just saying, we got to talk about where it really come from. My aunt said, wow, I didn't know that. That is nice. I'm going to check it out. Oh, yeah. Koi said, yes, that's the spirit of manipulation. Ooh, manipulation and protection run rampant when you don't check them. Absolutely. Jesus said, not on his watch. Can you say it again? But we just got to get real with ourselves. And it's hard. Like, it's really, really hard to get real with yourself. Because I feel like we all have, like, these, like, coping mechanisms, which, Koi, me and you have talked about a little bit. Like, a lot of that stuff coming from our childhood. You know what I mean? Like, we all learn how to cope. Like, and how we cope is a little bit, everybody cope a little bit differently, but, us accepting, like, that's just how I am. Like, no, that is just how you have been made to be. Like, that's not in your purest form of you. Like, that ain't how God see you. God don't see you as, like, this ugly person with an attitude. Like, he don't see you like that. The world might see you like that because that's what you giving. That's the energy you giving. But that ain't how God see you. So, like, what I do with my life coach is, like, getting back to, like, the core me. Like, not the false version of myself. Not, who I put myself out there to be, like, but who is the core of who I am. And how God sees me. Koi said, would you say that there's a thin line between jealousy and envy? Absolutely. But I think that, there's a very thin line, because I'm thinking, like, they can you can get there from either way. So you can be jealous of something that somebody had. Like, okay, I'm going to give y'all a case in point. In essence, we know it's a lot of men out here, unfortunately, who do not take care of their children. Okay? As mothers, like, I absolutely understand why moms are like, you know what? I feel like you help bring this child in this world, like, you need to help raise this child, right? But what we fail to realize is that we have free will in literally every aspect of our life. And that includes parenting. Not only with men, there are some women who choose not to take care of their kids. And I feel like a lot of women when they get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm putting you on child support, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, a lot of that is really based in envy and jealousy. And I say envy and jealousy because at the end of the day, you are mad. You're jealous because they can move however they want to move, and you don't have that same ability. And I'm not saying it's not a valid feeling, but like getting to a place to be like, dang, I'm really jealous. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that they have something that like tangible that you want, but something as little as like the time and the freedom to, move around and what you want to contribute financially to a child. Like, that is something of freedom that a lot of like men can have. And I feel like a lot of women, it's like, oh, I'm just mad, I'm just pissed, I'm just angry because he should be doing this. Very well, he should be doing this. But what it comes down to is you jealous. You jealous that you can't move like him. Now, stuff like that be hard pills to swallow. Like, that's a lot of work to get to that place for you to really admit something like that. Because then it makes it like, like there's no accountability for the other person. It's not that it's not accountability for the other person, but the only person you can be accountable for is yourself. Like, you can't force anybody to do anything. And even if you go through the courts, you already know. People go through the courts every day. And that doesn't mean that people are going to step up and do what they're supposed to do. People get sued in court all the time. People men have warrants out for their arrest for lack of paying child support. Like, yeah, you might put a little bit of fear, but that's still ultimately not going to make them show up or even make them pay the money. So at the end of the day, like, you just can't force people to do things. The only thing you can really control is you. But yeah, Coy, I'm exactly with you. Manipulation and projection. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, I'm always like checking where I'm at. To be honest, like, I'm always checking where I'm at. Coy said, yes, I agree to a certain extent. I think it's more about accountability. But I think that the accountability part is when we start trying to be in control. Because at the end of the day, like, we can't make other people accountable. Like, we want to, you know what I mean? It would be fair, like, in a world, it would be a fair thing if we could truly hold people accountable. And again, that's why I think it comes to jealousy, because it's like, you got to be accountable for yourself, and it's not fair that other people can just do what they want to do and they don't have that same level of accountability. It's not fair. But like, if you get so caught up in worrying about like trying to control other situations, like, it just doesn't serve you. It's not going to put you in a better space. It's not going to make that person show up. It's not going to make that person be more accountable. Louise said, hey, y'all, just checking in. Hope you're all staying safe and well. Peace and blessings. Hey, Louise, miss you. How's your week? Coy said, hey, Louise, peace and blessings to you, too. Oh my goodness, ED is on the line. Hey, how are you doing, ED? ED said, miss you guys, long time. Coy said, that's true. They need to desire to want to do their part as well. Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, is like, that's the freedom that I'm finding right now in this season of my life, is just really, what can I truly control? Like, what is really in my control? You know what I mean? Not what I think is in my control, because at the end of the day, a lot of us have a spirit of manipulation. Like, when stuff ain't going our way, like, we will literally try to create the circumstance that we want so we can get the result that we're looking for. And I think a lot of us don't take accountability for that. Even trying to control how somebody else reacts, even if it's in a positive way. Because, a lot of people who are like people pleasers, Like, if you really look at the core of why people are people pleasers, like people pleasers, even though it's like, it seems as though it's like this outward thing and that they're always trying to like entertain and trying to, you know, meet the bar for the outside, it's also an internal thing as well. It's definitely an internal thing as well. And they're definitely trying to manipulate it so that they do not have to feel pain. They're trying to avoid pain on some level, and beneath the pain it's a whole bunch of stuff. We don't know what that is. But like, even people pleasers, like, it can seem like something that's innocent, but you still got that spirit of manipulation up on you. Coy said, oh yeah, Coy said hello, Manuel. Edie said, doing great, summer busy out here, always love the view. Well, I'm glad I could bring you the view. Shout out to you for being finished with this year of med school. Give us an update. How are things going on your ends? I was saying I got to catch up with one of my friends today who just finished her first year. And we were just kind of talking about what she has going on and how she goes back, I want to say the end of July, and how second year actually ends in March for them. And they do not take their step 1 exam until the end of their third year. And then shortly after, they take their step 2 exam. Coy said, go you. Oh, ED, just an update. Coy is Nurse Coy now. And she is an emergency department nurse, or do you say like ER nurse or ED? Do you have a preference, Coy? And she just passed her NCLEX recently. Was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. My days is all kind of merging together. But yes, Coy is out here being great. She's out here flourishing. She's doing well. Coy, you didn't respond either. Did you look up flights? You didn't say anything. I'm waiting to hear from you. I know you're busy getting things together, but even if it's like a, 3-4 days, I just want you to be able to come out here and just, be away. I'll plan some activities. All I need, I just need you to, I'll get your flight. You don't have to worry about anything. Just let me know. ED said, wow. Congrats. Hey, Coy, go forth and conquer. Coy said, ER nurse. Okay, I figured ED nurse sound a little nerdy. Okay. Coy said, thanks, Emmanuel. Yeah, she's about to be in the grind for sure. So she's just been relaxing, getting some things in order. ED said emergency departments are always busy. Oh yeah, especially she in Atlanta, so it's always something going on. Always something going on. But yes, ED, give us an update. What is going on with you? How is, studies coming along? Do you have a break? Like, what is your update? What is next? ED said, let me see. Coy said, yes, very busy, but I'm excited. This will let me know if ER is for me or ICU. Oh, yeah, for sure. ED said, yes, enjoy the break before you start. Yes, because my girl is going to be in the trenches. ED said, currently on break, but doing research. Now, ED, when do you guys take step 1? Because like I said, my friend, she said they take their step 1 at the end of third year. So when do you guys take your step 1? And what are you doing research on? Coy said, LOL, I plan on it. Absolutely. Girl, you deserve it. Like I said, I'm glad it's a little breeze, but I'm out here done busted a hose. What with this humidity? Woo, Lord. Koi said, I will look for sure. Thank you. ED said mid to end of May 2022. My second year ends mid-April, then 6 weeks dedicated. Okay. Okay, so that sounds about right. Okay, so you guys have the traditional approach then, taking it after second year. Like I said, I can't imagine like my friend having to take it after third year and then literally shortly after studying for step 2. Like she told me, I asked her about the logic. She was saying something about like they feel like they're basing it off of like Texas A&M curriculum, and they feel like that some of the vignettes can help them from them being in the clinical years. I don't know, you know, like just from my personal experience of taking step 1, like you don't need any clinical, I guess, support to me wouldn't be as helpful for step 1. Of course, step 2, and then she still has shells that she has to be taken. So I'm just like, how do you have time to like keep fresh on step 1 information while you're taking shelf exams, and then have to take step 1, and then basically right after step 1 you getting prepared to take step 2. They take step 2 in their 4th year. Koi said, what's the temp there? Today is probably like in the 80s, maybe like 82 or something. But I was looking at temperature at home. I think it's like in the 90s at home. So for a couple days this week. Koi is asking ED, what is your specialty / interest? Hold on, I'm gonna see if I remember, because he definitely had told us last time he was here. Let me see if I remember. Was it internal? No, I don't really remember. I don't remember. ED, yes, remind us, what is your specialty? Because I definitely, was it internal? Oh, you said that was your guess, Koi? That's what I'm thinking. I need to be reminded though. Forgive us if we wrong. ED said, yeah, it's up there on the list. Okay. But I am still open-minded. Got you. No, that's awesome. I know, I'm so excited. A lot of my friends, they just graduated from their residency program. Some of them are doing like fellowships. A couple of my friends are, they're coming back for a chief year. So they out here being great. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You definitely should be open-minded. Step 1 is pass, fail now. Yes, I remember I did like a live video. I want to say back in, that had to be 2019 when they had announced it. Koi said, okay, that's awesome. It will find you for sure. Because Koi, going in, did you originally want to do emergency? I want to say yeah, but I don't remember. Koi, remind me, did you originally want to do emergency? I know one of my friends wanted to do peds first, but they changed their mind, but I don't think that was you. So I guess taking it late won't make any difference. Koi said, is pass, fail a good thing or not? I think that's the big debate, Koi, to be honest. Their thing is that they want the applicants to be looked at more holistically. But I think that for international students, that it is going to be a bummer because international students, that is how they usually get into American residency programs, is based off of their actual score number, not because they passed, but because they did extremely well. So if they don't have that as a an indicator, I think it's going to be a struggle for them. But step 2 is going to be based on numbers, so I think it's going to be more weight that's going to be on step 2 versus step 1. But it depends on who you ask, because my friends who were like super overachievers in med school, they like, oh no, I'd be mad, if we didn't get our scores for step 1. But like I said, they did extremely well. On the other hand, my friends who didn't do well was okay. It looks like I'm back. I'm so sorry, y'all. Okay, y'all definitely right. Coy, you already know who was calling me. Angel probably like, you was supposed to be off this live. I tried to wait to call you. So it really only be Angel be the only person that be calling me. And it was her. I'm gonna call her and tell her. She told me I need to put my phone on do not disturb, but I gotta figure out how to do that. I know, crazy. But let me see. Coy said, I originally thought I was going to do psych. I learned quickly I'm not as therapeutic as I thought. You are funny. ED said, my research is focused on the health outcomes of patients who have undergone lead extraction. Oh, wow. I.e. patients with cardiac pacemaker and defibrillator that need it removed. Oh, that's very interesting. Coy said, somebody call her, girl. You already know. Coy said, oh, that's a great research topic. Is the research only for the summer? ED said, yeah, but it might go into the school year too. And my internet is acting up here too. Okay. Coy said, oh, okay. Well, at least the topic is interesting. Oh, absolutely. That is a good topic. That really is. So, yeah. Well, it is Friday, and I know y'all got stuff to do. But as always, I appreciate y'all time. Coy, if you don't send me some flights and let me know what you got going on in this month of July, please do. And like you said, because it can be a weekday, it can be a weekend, it doesn't matter. Like I said, even if it's only a couple days, like I just would love to get you here. So yes, well, I'm going to let you guys go, but I want you guys to have a very, very blessed week. I'm going to go enjoy my tacos for the evening and go watch some Netflix. All right, bye.